Okay.
Hello, hello, and welcome. This is a public holiday. We are still continuing with Urban today, and it's a special day. In studio with me, I am joined by very special guests. Adam, you want to give me a hug? Come and give me a very big hug. It's coronavirus time, but Adam had to give me a hug. So I am joined by very beautiful guests, and they come from the Donor Center Home for Autism. I don't know what the condition is, but we have someone who is going to be talking to us about the condition called autism. It's a condition that affects children and different people up to different ages. So she is going, even the pastor. Okay. So she's going to be telling us what it is, how they deal with it, how it comes about, how can it be controlled? There are so many questions. And above all, we do not want to forget the stigma that comes with this condition and how it can be dealt with. It's a public holiday, and I know you're seated home, but this is a very beautiful topic that you do not want to miss. So I am joined by Dorothy Nambi, and she comes from the Donor Center Home for Autism. Dorothy, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, and for the attention of the viewers, I grew up with Dorothy, and I was very excited to meet her right here on set with these beautiful souls. Wow. Dorothy, you tell our viewers what their names are.
Wow. Thank you so much, Urban TV, for this opportunity. Right with me, I'm just actually enjoying what is happening because this is the first of its kind, having my children on stage with a teacher. I can't believe like Adam is seeing himself on TV.
Adam,
you know, when people are stigmatizing outside there, that know what can happen.
He told me for me I'm a Muzungu.
Oh dear.
Adam is... So this is Adam.
So this is Adam. Adam, put up your hand.
That is Adam.
Jacob, put up your hand. Jacob. Ellie, put up your hand.
Ellie, you're not looking at yourself in TV.
That is
You are
Ellie.
Missing.
Yes,
and
that is
teacher?
Ellie, and their teacher is Teacher Gilbert.
So why do we have these instruments? Let's start there.
So the whole purpose is around music. We are given an opportunity by Voice in Uganda, that is funding the music project, which is a donor center, and we are trying to amplify their voices through music. So music is a healing, it's a treatment. Okay. When you're stressed, sometimes you're like, can I tune in some music? It's a public holiday today.
Yes.
I think someone's like looking for that good music to make them relax and all that. So we are here to showcase what people think is impossible, that to us it is possible.
So you're saying music is very important in the way children with autism learn.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because it's not like I have to say out a word, but I can just use my rhythm as the teacher will explain.
Okay. So teacher,
Yes,
I didn't pick your name.
My name is Gilbert Mugisha.
Gilbert Mugisha.
Yes, please.
What does music do for these beautiful souls?
Oh, yeah, thank you. So music does a lot of things. So one of them is that with people living with autism, it helps them focus. Like it gives them something to do. Because if you look at, say, Ellie, once he sees the bass drum, he wants to play the bass drum for the rest of the day, maybe. You know, if he gets tired, he will get tired. But then, so if he doesn't have what to do or what to play, then he will do some other things that we don't know, you get. So music does a lot. It brings their minds down when they are, you know, up, when they throw tantrums. You know, we bring the instruments out, they play, and they enjoy that day, and, you know, life moves on. And so, yeah.
Are they all up, as you said? Are they always hyper or?
Sometimes, and it varies, I think, and I think the ED who has stayed with them for a longer time can really explains what it means when, you know, when they are hyper or they have thrown tantrums, like what brings that. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to perform something for us?
Yeah, sure, we can, yeah. So we can play something to show that we can speak through these instruments. Yeah, though you can't hear our words, but you will hear what we can play.
Before you play, does that mean all of them don't speak? I've just talked to Adam a few words.
They speak a few. If you greet, they will reply. But besides greeting, and if it goes beyond greeting, they won't.
Okay.
Yeah, but then they sing.
And they sing words, audible words that you
Audible words. If you put some one tune for this guy here, he will sing it from where it starts until where it ends. But not every song, of course. The songs they have had for a longer time.
Oh, so are you saying that the repetitive, something repetitive
Yes.
works for them?
Yes.
And that is why music, because music can become repetitive,
Yes.
can help them learn.
Yes.
How old is Jacob?
Jacob is 15 years.
Yeah, he's
Jacob
15.
is 15. And Adam?
Adam, how old are you? 20 years.
Is Adam 20 years? Oh my God. And Ellie, I like calling him
Ellie 13
Eli.
years.
Ellie is 13. Okay.
Yeah.
So take us away. Play for us something.
Okay. Yeah, so with us, Brass for Africa, we believe in music. And then, when we've been teaching these people, we teach them basics of like marching, because we play with brass bands. So we're going to play the marching style that every band plays, okay? So, Ellie, ready? Ellie, band ready? Adam, ready? Jacob, ready? Okay, Ellie, by the center, and by the center, quick march. Let's go. Stop. Okay, then we are going to do another rhythm, okay? So, Ellie, band ready? By the center, quick march.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wait,
And
Adam.
teacher, before,
Adam.
before you go off, I want to know, when they learn this, for instance, Adam is 20 years old.
Yeah.
What can he do for himself? You know, is this the only instrument that he can play? How can he transition from this life to another life?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. If I may ask, if I go to school and I study up to university and I finish, what do I do? Is it a must that I get a job?
Not really, it's not.
Thank you.
So you want Adam to just play the instruments? And
He will
enjoy
play.
it?
If Adam learns the drums and he finds an opportunity that someone picks interest in him, to use him as an example to others, then Adam will get an opportunity. And so, if he plays it well, you know, who knows? God is the one who knows. So Adam will maybe go out and teach others, you know, and help them as others that have done it. So it's not a guarantee that we have the future for them.
Yes.
Yeah, but the future can tell.
Yes, but you make them, you occupy them and engage them until they, at a time when they feel I can move on with
Yes,
it.
yes.
Thank you so much. I'm going to request that you continue with the band outside. and we talk to the viewers. Is that a bad idea?
It's not a bad idea. Ellie, come and we march.
So you can occupy, there's a corner out here, they can continue playing softly.
Okay.
Yes.
Ellie,
So we're going to march for us, and then we are going to have another discussion with them.
Yeah, we are going to march off stage. Ellie has...
Ellie, come.
Ellie, you have a drum here.
Yes.
Ellie, you want to forget your drum?
Ellie.
Hey. Okay.
Get your drum.
It's okay. You think
Come
he
on,
should
Mike.
follow?
Sorry?
Maybe if you start the tune, he can come.
He has to start us
About
because
autism,
he's...
you have to be very
he's-
patient, give him time. Otherwise, if you rush, you may miss out something.
Take a moment. Eli is our heart.
Yes.
So without him,
You cannot play.
we can play, but we won't feel it. Okay, we are going to march, Eli, okay? We're marching off stage. So, by the center, quick, march.
March.
Together, Eli.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Dorothy,
That is the class.
that is the class.
So you can imagine, in case there are 100 of them,
Yeah.
these are the privileged ones who are at school and they are getting this skill.
How, you know, we've hit the ground running.
I know.
And it is not easy because we needed our viewers to see what we are going to be talking about, what we are talking about.
Exactly.
And like I was telling you before, it is our policy here to make sure we protect the children. But you insisted and said, no. We need our viewers to know what we are talking about.
Exactly, because sometimes when you're just talking autism, it's like, what is autism? But you need to bring out the message. So they've portrayed the message.
Yes. So now let's go back, like I promised. Let's now go back and discuss slowly by slowly. What is autism?
Wow, thank you so much. First of all, for this opportunity. You know, for me, when I'm on air, I'm like, yes, the message is going out.
Yes.
So whoever is looking
people
there,
at home,
so
and
whoever
they're
has this child and is looking the child outside, this is what they are going to miss.
Yes.
So we're encouraging them to bring them out. So autism on its own, as you've seen my ordinary children, is a condition. It's a lifelong developmental condition that affects the way they socialize, that affects the way they communicate, it affects the way they see the world. An autistic person sees the way in a different position or an angle. A car is moving, it's like the car knows me. The car shouldn't knock me. Can you imagine that kind of like a sense? But when we are training them, it's like it is dangerous. They are listening. No matter they can't really talk it out, they can try to imitate and like, what are they telling me? Maybe let me respond to the action. We also train them to be humble. The socialization now. I know Ellie coming to the studio is like, okay, this can happen.
was very excited.
You know, the
Adam was
excitement,
also
so someone
very
may think they are mad. And that's why I'm saying he's not mad. He's just an ordinary person, but you just have to understand, accept them, and then love them.
At the donor center home for autism, how many are they anyway?
So they're supposed to be 30, but due to COVID, we have 15. But of course, the situation is alarming. We are like, now we want to bring them because for them, they don't understand what is this issue of staying home.
Yeah.
So many of them are now also getting stressed, which is now like also leading us back to what we had put right. It's like, you know, we are going backwards. So when they are training them, you find like maybe some areas are kind of like really, you know, going backwards. Someone who has learned how to bathe themselves comes back like, you know, wants to hold you, bathe me, and then you have to start from zero.
Does that mean they are commuting from home to the center,
So-
or is that a boarding school?
So what I did as donor center, I had to make it like a weekly boarding program. Monday to Friday, they are donor center. Then weekends, I let them keep with their parents to still leave that other gap. Sometimes people find such centers and then they dump the children, which is really so bad. So it's a weekly boarding program where they come Monday to Friday. And then on Friday evening, the parents come for them, those who are able to.
What do you do at donor center? I can see your Dorothy, and the place is called donor center.
So the inspiration all starts from, I'm a teacher by profession. Then I'm also a mother. So you can imagine when you're a teacher, you're a mother, you had a child who was in a similar kind of a scenario, a slow learner. But then
So you're saying you had a child.
similar. He doesn't want to hear this when I'm on air, but I'm like, here's my testimony. You know, you have a child who is a slow learner, but then you have to put in that extra mile to like when you get this, I'm going to give you this. I motivated until when he's now a lab technician.
Oh, wow. So does that mean you started the school because of what you were
passion
going
with what
through?
I went through. You can imagine. His own dad is like, this child is dense. And I'm like, he's not dense. Psychologically, I was traumatized. And I was like, no, he will make it.
And I think that's why you're here today.
Oh,
you want
yes.
to speak to parents going through the same situation and they don't know how to go about it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And others are blaming the other ones. We are together. But then when a child comes with a problem, the man is going to put it onto the woman. Really?
When that happened, at what point did you realize that your child has a similar condition?
So actually what happened, I think at 2 months, there is an old woman who realized my son wasn't crying normally like other children. So instead of her telling me, he had to go through some other person that let her take the child to their home. I was like, what was this?
And by to their home, what do they mean?
I know. So little did I know that maybe there was something. Maybe from their home, these people would sense something. So I met...
In your home?
No, at the child's home.
At the
father's
husband's
home. So when we reached to the grandmother, she was like, oh, this boy has a tongue tie. I said, what's a tongue tie? Oh. Quickly, go and bring a razor blade. I said, oh my God.
Akanyata.
Akanyata. So I said, oh my God. So they're going to cut my boy? Okay, I gave it a break.
But is it true that he had a tongue tie?
Yeah, he had, because the old man had to kind of like get him, lift and then cut slightly, and then was like, breastfeed him. So she did it.
That is really rudimentary.
So she did it, and then I breastfed him, and then he started crying normally. And I was like, what was the other abnormality of the crying? So of recent, I'm kind of like venturing that, okay, so there are those children who cry like, that kind of like a long cry, but then they don't, a child has to cry like that.
Yes.
So for me, I'd even not realized
that was at 2 months.
Exactly. So the lady was like, at our place, all these children are born with the tongue tie. I said, oh my God. But I thank God that the old woman saw it, and then...
And
I was like, maybe...
You're saying that it is a similar condition, does that mean something else developed apart from what you went through at 2 months?
I can't tell, because that's already a deformity. An ordinary child should be born without any kind of like a strings attached. So I was like, could it have been? And maybe I didn't know. Did I go through some maybe scenario? You know, at times when you're still young, you're traumatized. There is that denial, I'm not responsible. So you can't tell what can easily come during that time.
Did you ever go to the doctors to find out?
So of recent, I think that is now the research that we are into. And we are seeing like there are those who the parents realize the child has a tongue tie. They go cut it. But of course, there are those who really get their speech properly. Then there are those who may never really, even if they cut it.
Talking of speech, now tell us, where does lack of speech and autism meet?
So that is the sign. That is the sign, the first indicator. If you see your child has delayed in speech, because we always say a child at 6 months should be able to say the first word, tata, the first sound to lift, that lifts up the tongue. And that's why we used to hear when a child starts with mama, that child is going to, like, I don't know what people like, I kind of imagining that child is going to be slow, whatever. But accidentally the tata lifts the sound and that child is going to, the tongue
is touching the palate.
Exactly.
To say mama, you're using your lips. So it's in English we call it, it's a biolabia something.
Whatever that is. So for us, we're like, an ordinary child should start with tata or daddy. You know, the sound gets out. So when you see a child has delayed at 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9, there is already a question mark. And some parents have taken it for granted. He will talk. She will talk. They wait. You wait until it's 1.5 years, nothing has come out. That is abnormal. So something like at our place, the parents take long to talk. So those who have really waited, at times we have gone like that.
Are you saying that if you realize that earlier and you go to seek help?
You seek for help, you never know.
Does it remove the condition?
So what happens when you discover that maybe your child is not talking? Try to calm in yourself, because now we've seen the working class. You give birth, you want the child, but then work comes number one. You leave the child in the hands of a caretaker. This baby is not talking. You know, by the time you discover, it may be too late. So we are like, when we said the earlier, the better. At 6 months, have you come in to kind of like prompt the child, talk, bah, sounds, that can help this child open up. There is nothing. Then you find the child is in a silent home. How is speech going to come out?
Usually the firstborns take longer because they are with adults and...
You see? So in that silent home, you're finding this child also silent. So you can imagine when you have no speech, the behavior will also be terrible. We're trying to kind of like tell Ellie, you know, wait. Okay, he's listening, but you have to be very patient.
Do you know what gives them the hype? Because now we are talking speech, but then there are other things that we notice around these children.
So actually, autism is also around behavior.
Okay.
The behavior is also different. So Ellie, or maybe Jacob, the behaviors are quite different.
Yes.
Ellie is a bit high.
Adam is so
Adam
calm.
is really very calm.
Really calm, and he wants to follow instructions.
Exactly. So with Ellie, I think it was like a lot of excitement. When we were just somewhere there, we took some little tea with some sugar. So I don't know whether that has boosted him up.
I want us to also go into the triggers. What triggers behavior? But we should get there sometime to come in the interview.
True.
So for now, we are talking behavior. We are saying that autism, before you were telling me that autism has a spectrum. Tell us about that.
So we always use the word, we always say autism is a spectrum. If you've seen a rainbow,
Yes.
so it has where it starts from and where it ends. So there are those on the high end,
Yes.
there are those on the lower end. Then there are those in the middle end. So we've seen the high functioning. Those are now the Bill Gates.
Oh.
Too clever, even planning for the planet.
Yes.
Then we have those who are like really too severe. A child who is too severe, I think you'll even find maybe they are touching funny things and just putting in the mouth.
In the mouth.
Then there are those who are like, no, it is dirty. I shouldn't put it in my mouth. That is the mild.
Okay.
So then you're also going to find those who are non-verbal.
Okay.
Then you find those who have some little speech. Then there are those who have speech, but again, when it comes to class work, teacher, don't think the work is too much. I'm not going to class. So that is the variance.
So that is the whole
Spectrum.
Let's talk severe. When you say severe.
So now when it comes to severe, I think now that's where sometimes people think autism at a severe level, these are mad people. But we are saying they are not mad.
I interfaced with one that was very violent. He would beat others in the classroom and they would never sit still. So was that my severe autism?
So at times, and maybe that could be on the severe end, but at times we find what triggers that. Maybe he wanted to say something, but then he wasn't understood. So that becomes a challenge.
Okay, so the mild ones, can these live normal lives? And pardon my use of normal, but can these
They live an ordinary life.
Ordinary life, and fit in the day-to-day? Can you take them to an ordinary school?
So the ordinary school is the donor center.
The donor center.
Yes, where we are into the practical skills.
You do not advocate for these to attend inclusive, what you would call inclusive.
Wow, I like that because I think this is where all parents start from. Like when you give birth, you want your child to go to a kindergarten, an ordinary kindergarten. You don't start from special needs. So when you go to a regular school, then the teachers will say, I think there is something not right. Of course, there's those who insist, no, my child should remain in class. Then the teachers are just pushing this person. So at Donor Center, we are trying to empower them. Be independent. The music training that is going on, we are like, maybe one time there will be a band, and Adam can be empowered in that band. Jacob will be in that band. Ellie will be in that band. No matter, because you've heard the teacher say, if Ellie is not with his huge drum, the band is not there. He has to lead it.
let us take a very short break. We are going to break off for a short time. We are going to be back and we'll be delving into more of these characteristics, what to look forward to, or what to look out for. If you notice signs, you call them signs, I was calling them symptoms. When you see certain signs in your child, we want to also talk diagnosis in medical terms. So let's take a break. We'll be back.